So let's bring in Jacksonville native and Florida Congressman Ron DeSantis, who was one of the first to stand by President Trump's original orders. Good to have you here tonight, Congressman.
Thanks for coming down to Florida.
To you. It's great to be here. Thank you for having us. So one of the interesting comments from General Kelly when he spoke about this the other day was that, he wanted the second executive order to take place in a way that we would not find people backed up in our airports. So he was acknowledging that there was some issue in this rollout. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's right. I mean, you had examples of like a grandmother who was a green card holder coming back from one of these countries. That's not where the threat is. The threat are with people who are unvetted. These are countries that are either state sponsors of terrorism or are overrun in large degree by terrorist groups. And if you look since 9/11, the biggest change in the terrorist threat has been how much it's expanded in different countries. You have Somalia, other parts of Africa,
so you think more than those 7 should be on the list?
Well, I think that if you read the executive order, that's a 90-day period. They're also going to be talking with other countries. So people mentioned Saudi Arabia. So maybe Saudi Arabia doesn't have procedures that are acceptable to us. So maybe there will be changes there. But I think we have to err on the side of caution. And my view is we have immigration system, but that immigration system shouldn't make the American people assume risk to their safety by us bringing in people we don't know.
Let's bring in some of our great audience that we have with us tonight. Let me start by going to Jack Capra, who is with us tonight. You listen to this conversation, Jack, and you're a veteran, so we thank you for your service.
Thank you. I actually used to work with the congressman.
You got your dog to sit up and take notice now, too, so he's paying attention.
Yeah, I used to work with the congressman in Guantanamo a few years ago. We both had duty there, so.
Well, welcome. It's great to have the two of you here together tonight, and good to talk to you about these serious issues. You listened to Stephen Miller from the White House. What did you think about what he had to say?
Well, I think his main argument was right on point, and I agree with that. I think this is, securing our borders is a national security issue. It's not just, of course, it's also about economics, but it's a national security issue, and it's the federal government's job to keep our people safe, keep the citizens safe from external and internal threats. And certainly I think immigration is a big contributor to that.
Yeah. Obviously the rollout of it didn't go quite as planned, which brings me to sort of a general question that I want to put to all of you as we get going tonight. As you look at so far the first 100 days, we're in day 33 right now. So I'm going to ask you to raise your hand for 3 different answers, okay? So the first one would be, so far, are you now, you don't raise your hand yet, because I want you to know all the options. You can either be A, thrilled, I'm really happy with how it's going, or B, it's okay, but I think there's room for improvement, and C, I am a little disappointed, okay? So raise your hand if you would say that you are thrilled with how it's going so far. Wow, that's a lot of folks. Look at that. Okay, what about choice B, which is I'm glad, but, I'd like to see a little bit of improvement around the edges? Okay. So how many of you are disappointed, not happy with how it's going so far? A couple up here, one in the back there, one back there. Okay, all right, we're going to get around to you and hear some of your reasons for all of that. What do you think about that?
Well, look, I think that Congress has gotten
Which category do you fit in, first of all?
Well, I think Congress has gotten off to a slow start. I think the president's done much better than we have. He's following through with what he said he would do, and we are kind of... We in the Congress, we're kind of getting to what we said we'd do, but we haven't quite gotten over there. I think we will, but I think they've gotten off a better start. It's also important to say they're not confirming his nominees. He doesn't have a guy. He's got like a fraction of the government in place because the Democrats in the Senate are basically trying to stall as many people as possible.
So let me go to somebody over here. Chris Koprinski, who is the mother of 3, and you think that we need to put a pause on immigration. So how do you feel about the president so far? And do you think Congress, do you agree with Congressman DeSantis that they're not pulling their weight?
100%. I am thrilled with what President Trump is doing. Congress, needs to get on board, and specifically the Democrats. He needs his cabinet, his full cabinet. And you seem to be stopping him at every turn. There's got to be a discussion opened. They've got to be willing to give a little bit.
Claire, you're nodding your head there. Is there anyone in particular in Congress that you're disappointed in so far? And would you like to give them a message tonight?
How much time do you have?
I got about 48 minutes. Go ahead.
say we finally have someone in office who is doing something probably not even, the last president I can think that has done anything like this was Abraham Lincoln, who was trying to reunite the country. And that's what we voted for him to do. And that's what he's doing. Congress isn't getting behind us. I say term limits. That way you can clean house, just like he's doing Drain the Swamp. There's too many in there right now that, you know, are not doing their job. Stop voting. McCain is a pain.
Just a quick plug. I am the leader of the term limits movement in the House, so we do need to do that.
All right, so you're on your third term. So how many terms should he get? How many terms?
Our amendment is 3 terms in the House and 2 terms in the Senate.
Okay.
It's the same one Trump endorsed during the campaign. So let's get a vote. Let's see what we can do.
All right, we're just getting rolling here. Great job opening the conversation off here.